Christian Ballot from OLX is joining me in studio. Today we're going to be talking about online scams and how to avoid them if you're selling or buying online. Hello.
Hi Jane, how are you?
Good, it's nice to see you again.
Oh, it's lovely to be back.
Good. Now we're talking about online scams and you're an expert because you work extensively in the online selling and buying market. Now, the reason I want to chat about this is because I remember a story about, I think, a farmer buying feed online, and he ended up paying for that feed and never receiving the product. And I think this is something a lot of people are afraid of when using these selling and buying websites. Can you tell us maybe a little bit about what happened and how we can avoid this?
People are really desperate for bargains in the times we live in, but that shouldn't come in the way of common sense. And I think there are a few things, especially in this case where you're speaking of someone maybe paying up front and not seeing the goods, where the easiest way to prevent this is don't pay for anything until you see it. If someone promises delivery or anything like that, treat it as if it's a complete stranger that you've never met before, and why would you just give them money away? It doesn't make sense in real life, so it shouldn't make sense online. There are lots of third-party escrow services available in South Africa that takes care of settling the money if both buyers and sellers are happy, and that usually works for bigger ticket items.
What's a common scam that you hear about, or a common misconception people have about buying and selling online?
I think the common misconception is, and it's largely to do with how people were taught online buying and selling works. I think for us at OLX, we're in the business of connecting people. We don't really facilitate transactions. We are as much a social network as what Facebook is. It's about connecting buyers and sellers, and they're connecting maybe not on a conversation about who they're in love with, but maybe more a conversation about a table or a second-hand TV. And once you meet up, that happens off platform. But people are still used to saying, well, if I'm seeing an item online and I'm making an offer for it, it's like I'm buying it online, which is actually not the case. So because you're used to having the payment taken care of, the Takealots of this world, etc., then maybe that perception still exists. So at least the comfort that or the sort of the known factor is still there.
That's interesting that you say we shouldn't take it as a Takealot or a spree. We should actually take it as meeting a stranger and buying an item for them. I don't think a lot of people make that differentiation.
Sure, and I think that often, I think especially in our society, people are somewhat scared sometimes to think, oh, I'm meeting a stranger. But if you think that what you're meeting someone about, let's say you're selling a second-hand guitar, for example, it's often, if it's someone that is really interested in this item, you probably share a common thing that is songwriting, and there's a story to be told for strangers meeting around sharing hobbies and sharing experiences and stuff that they are interested in, that I think is really beautiful and underreported. If you are a seller and you're selling, let's say, Jen, you put your old TV on because you just got a raise and you now want a new flat screen TV, one of those nice curved ones, then what you do is you put the TV on OLX and you wait for the buyers will come, and then someone maybe says, sure, I don't have the cash, but you know what, Jen, I'll send you proof of payment. And then you receive an SMS and you take it on face value that the money is already in your account.
I've heard of this happening to a lot of people.
Yeah, and then, so what happens is then you take the SMS on face value without thinking, wait, maybe this can just be sent from any old online SMS sending platform, and just accept that the money's there, and then hand over your TV, and guess what, you never received the funds. What will often happen then is that people will come to us and say, listen, this has happened to me, and then we work together with the person and the police to track down this case of this is theft, right? This is a criminal matter, and unfortunately we live in a society that's full of criminals, and we have to do everything we can to fight them.